course, I have to ask a COVID-19 question. It feels like every time we've talked, it's been sort of an ever-changing landscape. Now we have these new variants, cases are rising in different parts of the country. NAR has resumed in-person meetings. I want to hear from you how NAR is dealing with this, and also how is it impacting members and their businesses?
Members have obviously gone a pendulum of what we should do in states, nationally. Again, as I said earlier, March of 2020, we thought we had a couple weeks off. States learned how to hold meetings, how to operate virtually, how to keep their members engaged. Now, when we saw the curve flatten to a degree, we went back to in-person meetings, with our first meeting being in June at a President's Circle, and then recently we had an IOI meeting in Texas. We've put protocols in place. Safety is always going to be first and foremost with NAR, as it is with many businesses. Masks, social distancing, having on-site testing, and things that are important for somebody to feel comfortable. But we also recognize that there are a number of members that aren't comfortable, so we've looked at hybrid meetings so that we do have the Zoom capacity to include as many members as possible in all these meetings. But it's a very, very difficult situation because there are opinions on every side of the aisle as to what's the right thing to do. But we're going to make decisions and continue to make decisions based upon the information that we have, and to make sure that member safety is first and foremost in all of them.
As I understand it, annual in San Diego will be a hybrid meeting, correct?
Absolutely, and right now that we're planning on the same protocols to be in place, and working with the state of California and the city of San Diego as things change on a day-to-day basis. But right now we plan to be in San Diego in person.
Okay, so I always have to do one fun question before we wrap up. I want to hear, because I know you're sort of nearing the end of your presidency, and you know, this time in leadership has been, you've had lots of different experiences. Tell me about your funniest time in leadership with some members of the leadership team. And you can give names.
There's a lot of stories over the years, because the fun part about this is the relationships and the friendships that you make with so many people. And my journey goes back into the 90s when I was the local board president. But when I served with President Chris Polychrome in 2015 as one of his vice presidents, Chris has a lot of great sayings, and when you do something that doesn't make sense, you know, he'll let you know it. But we were on a trip that we went to a Cotton Bowl game in Dallas. Geez, I don't know, 15, 16, whatever it was. And Chris's driving is not something that, you know, it is legendary, but for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
And he picked us up at the airport and proceeded to drive around the airport in circles about 5 or 6 times, not knowing which exit to get to the highway, until his daughter said, "Dad, any of these exits will work. You just have to use one of them." And from that part, it went all downhill. We got stopped by the police. We went down the wrong way on a one-way street, and we finally took the keys away from Chris. So for the next 3 days, myself and Kenny Parcell drove the car.
No, oh boy.
So it was an interesting 3 days, but it was great, and we saw a fabulous football game, and I couldn't even remember the score, but I could tell you that was the experience and the friendship.
It's been a good ride. We're going to definitely talk about that more in the next one, so everyone can look forward to that.
Yeah.